The news, the ongoing load shedding seems to be getting worse by the day, despite assurances it will improve. Some parts of the southern part of the country, especially in Accra, in the last 2 weeks have been experiencing 12 hours of power on and 24 hours of no power, with some going off for 48 hours. But the Ministry of Power says the recent decline in power supply is as a result of the shutdown of the Ghana National Gas Company Limited in Atwabo in the Western region. The gas processing plant has been shut down to enable the African Middle East Investment Ameri power plant to be connected onto the gas supply system. A statement issued on Tuesday, November 24 by the ministry explained that the operation has led to a deficit in load shed, which translates into an increase in the quantum of load shedding in the country. The Ameri plant at Abuadze will generate additional 250 megawatts into the National Interconnected Transmission System when commissioned. Now, joining me on the phone line this afternoon is Dr. Ishmael Aka. He is the head of policy units and energy policy advisor, Africa Center for Energy Policy. Good afternoon, Doctor, and thanks for agreeing to speak with us.
Good afternoon. I hope you are doing well.
Very well, thank you, sir. Now, I'm sure you have been following, being an expert in this industry. There's been a lot of back and forth regarding this specific statement by the ministry and Ghana Gas. What do you make of this?
Yeah, I think that it is very unfortunate because this is not an accident. I mean, we planned that going for budget, and when they come, they use some type of fuel. If it is natural gas, then what it means is that we're going to do some tie-in somewhere, and you know that we are going to do it at a specific time. So if we want to do it, whether Ghana Gas shut it down or VRA approach Ghana Gas to shut it down, I think that there's a shutdown. What we should have done was to have a contingency plan that probably some light crude oil, so that when the gas is not available, we can rely on the light crude oil to power the thermal plant before we tie in. But for now, we don't have any of those things, and the consumer is bearing all these things, and what we are just getting is an apology and a plea that we should bear with them. I think that it is very unfortunate and very, very bad.
Now, Dr. The ECG is now shedding between 550 to 60 megawatts of power, and we were told that by the end of the year, the situation will probably normalize or stabilize. What are we not doing right?
Yeah, I mean, we have enough capacity. What we're struggling with was fuel, and I think some of the machines were down. Unfortunately, since the power crisis started, what the government has been doing is to promise an additional capacity and not the fuel too, because we have to transfer the capacity to generation, and we need fuel to do that. Look at the budget. The finance minister promised additional 1,023 megawatts. These are all capacity. When they come, which fuel are they going to use? Will they be tying? How have we planned that? Do we have a heavy crude oil for even the car power budget? So it says that, yes, we want to, the government promised that by the end of 2016, we'll be having 5,000 megawatt capacity. And that has been the sole driver of almost all the policy initiatives we are having. How that will transform into generation for people to benefit, for the doomsday to stop, I think that we've done little about that. Because VRA is owing Ghana Gas, they owe NGAS. I don't know when NGAS will come again that they need their money. Unfortunately, the budget did not say anything about that day. How we are going to pay it? No, nothing at all. ECG owes VRA. I mean, nothing at all. So we are very good looking at capacity, and tomorrow Amir is adding this, and tomorrow car power will bring this, and these are all additional capacity. If we don't have the fuel to transmit them into capacity, they just machines. They are not anything else.
Now, Doctor, even aside what's happening, there's a tale of the power badge. Will that really help solve the situation? Are you seeing some hope?
Yeah, for me, when the crisis started, that's why we call them emergency power budget. I think the government wanted to bring them in as a short-term solution, whilst we work on a medium and long-term solution, like getting more thermal plants and even going into solar and other things. So it was good. unfortunately, the time we were expecting the budget, we couldn't get it. In fact, as far back as August 2014, it didn't come. Later, April 2015, it didn't come. September, it didn't come. So, what is happening is that since the budgets though they come and add, if we have the fuel, they can help minimize the impact. So, if we're having about 500 megawatt deficit, and we are getting budgets from Car Power and Army, and they're going to give us around that figure, I think that it is good. DRA also promised some funds, 220, so they will be giving us 180 and all those ones. So if they come on stream, I think that it is going to help. But we forecast that this may not be by the end of the year, maybe the first quarter of 2016. Because even if Car Power comes now, we have to do interconnection lines, we have to do transmission lines and all those things, and it takes time. So maybe the first quarter of 2016. But going forward, if they come, I think that the impact may minimize. So if you're having 24 off now, if, for instance, Army is working, that will reduce to, say, 10 hours or 12 hours. And I think going forward, it will be reducing till we get a time where we have a stable and reliable supply.
Now, Doc, before I let you go, your organization and several other energy think tanks sometimes come up with some of your research work. And is it worrying that when groups and organizations like yours come up with some solutions of a sort, they fall on deaf ears?
Yeah, it's very bad. And I think that there are instances we've even written, we have publications, we have some of these things, we send them to the ministry. I think for petroleum, most of our suggestions have been taken on board. But in terms of power, I think probably because it's a new ministry, or I don't know the strategy, most of the things, most of the research, ISEF and other organizations, especially getting so many power budgets. In fact, we warned against that we can get a few for a short term whilst we concentrate on medium and long term solutions. But they didn't listen, and probably the government, I mean, they are managing things on our behalf, and I think that they see things better. So at the end of the day, Ghanaians are also more like answerable to Ghanaians, and Ghanaians can make their decisions as to whether things have been done fairly or not.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. I have been speaking with Dr. Ishmael Aka. He is the head of Policy Unit and Energy Policy Advisor at the Africa Center for Energy Policy, and we're looking at the power situation in the country.